Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. This, my 2012 RZR 570. If you've been following the series along, you'll know some of the things that I've gone ahead and done to it. I've got the windshield on. This is just a poly windshield. We'll see how long that lasts. I've got the 27-inch tires. I got the 2-inch lift. It's been great. It's a great little machine for us and our family. We're going down to southern Utah again here in the next little bit, and not necessarily restricted to 50-inch trails at the moment, but I wanted just a little bit more stability, especially after we gave it the lift and we removed the sway bars. It is definitely a little tipsy, and I wanted to make sure that this gets just a little extra stability. Now I know there's a lot of controversy on what we're about to talk about in this video. You've already seen in the description of the video. Is wheel spacers. They can do some harm to different components if your setup. And a lot of people are saying go ahead and just get the offset rims. The whole RZR 570 community is pretty adamant about doing the S conversion, which will make it 60 inches wide. You basically swap it out with some other parts from the Ranger XP 900 and the RZR 800S and a few other different parts that makes it so it's 60 inches wide, better suspension, so on and so forth. But that's still not quite in the cards for this. I really do believe it's just a 570. If I was going to do that, I would at least go to an 800 or potentially a 900 and not just buy the S eventually. But for what we've got, we're working with it. Now, don't mind this. I am in the middle of making a video about this light bar. No, I'm not actually. Never actually made that video. But here's the light bar I put on here. Got this from Amazon. Been a great little one. It's by Nightlight. It's been phenomenal. Been super bright. Basically, life just kind of got away from me. Needed to get these projects done before I had a town and razored around this last summer. Been great. Got an aftermarket switch as well. You can see the light bar there. I also went ahead and added some stereo speakers, which have also been great. But back to the video. But I did want to talk about wheel spacers. Now, I do have the spacers on it right now. And I'll be fully honest. I love it. I think it's great. I think it actually looks a little bit more planted. It doesn't look so much like top heavy, and I really enjoy the way it is. I haven't driven it around yet. I'm going to go through, I just kind of preliminarily put them on just to see how it looks. I haven't torqued anything down all the way yet or put the Loctite on, which we're going to cover in this video pretty quick. And I'm only going to do it on one side because it's exactly identical on all four corners. You know, in the clips I'm showing you right now, you'll see this was right after I had taken the sway bar links off and also just giving it the 2-inch lift with the 27-inch tires. And you can see it's just, I mean, it's a small machine anyway, but you can see that's a little bit tall and stands right up. Now, again, I haven't had any issues with it tipping. I just want to give it a little extra security. So adding wheel spacers is the way I'm going to go. Now, there's a few different kinds of wheel spacers that I wanted to look at. I'll be honest, I went cheap. We're going to see how they go. They break. I'm not doing a lot of high-speed razoring or off-roading right now. I've got my little 1-year-old that sits in our bump seat. I'm not here looking to go crazy with it. So, but something just a little extra stability. So I know if I was going 60 miles an hour, cruising around corners, I think wheel spacers aren't necessarily the way to go. And I definitely would probably buy a higher quality wheel spacer. But for what we're doing right now, I think these will be great. I did decide to go with the 1.5-inch wheel spacer. A lot of people do 2 inches. I just feel like 2 inches is going to put a little bit too much pressure on the wheel bearing and a few other components. So I went with 1.5 inches. Now I know only 1/2 inches, it's a little bit, but you know what? 2 inches in reality isn't that much. So I think taking that 1/4 of the way back is the way to go. I'm going to go ahead and take off the wheel, take off the spacer, start from ground zero, position 1, so that you can see what these look like and how what comes in the kit and how we're going to put these on and torque them down. All right, now that I got my wheel and the spacer off so I can ready to put it on. One thing I really like about these wheel spacers, I love that it has the cutout here that will go along these little nubs right here to help center it. But also it's got this lip right on this, and that fits directly inside of the tire, which is great. Gives a little extra support, gives me a little more confidence in happening. Now, the lug nuts that come with it, I'll come on the studs. These are the ones that actually go on the existing studs. Okay? Now, they are going to be a little bit thicker, and they aren't going to have as many threads on it as well. Side note, I actually did buy extended wheel studs. I wasn't quite comfortable with how many threads are on there. The extended wheel studs have solved that problem. Now, the RZR 570 comes with a 3/8 inch studs. So they're not as big as the other RZRs that you'll see that have like the 12N studs and everything. So when you buy these, if you're buying for the 570, make sure they have the 3/4 inch studs. Because if they don't, they won't fit, it won't work. So the way this is going to work is I'm going to apply a little bit of this crappy Chinese Loctite that comes with it on each one of these studs. And then this will slide over just like that. Right on top, you'll see it fits nice and snug in there. And then apply the lug nuts that came with it directly into them just like that. And then we'll torque them down to the spec. Now the nice thing about the 570s and the 3/8 is you only torque these down to about 27 foot-pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and get this Loctite open, and we'll put the things on the threads. I'm going to take this Loctite right here, and it's going to sit primarily on the edge of these, right here. Just a bead right there. Doesn't take a whole lot. Want just enough to get the point across. Next thing, we're going to set this right in here. Again, make sure there's not a bunch of dirt buildup or whatever. It might just looks like it has a lot of dirt, but it's all set. Line up your holes. Like that. Take your lug nut. Kind of use one finger to kind of twist it in there. Just like that, you got them all in there. Now, some of these holes are a little bit tight. Again, I don't know, the tolerances are a little bit funny, but I found that actually one of my impact sockets fits on here the best. I like to do kind of these hand tight for the first little bit. So I'm going to go ahead and torque these down real fast. Now that those are on, you'll be able to see everything spins normal. Nothing's really changed. On a side note, I already greased my wheel bearings and everything this season. I think that'll be a big part of making sure that these wheel spacers don't totally wear out these wheel bearings as quickly. I know that there will be extra strain on the wheel bearings because of the wheel spacer, but I think keeping these greased up once or twice, maybe 3 times a season, I think will be a good key. And if you're ever interested in seeing how these are greased, I know there's a bunch of videos on YouTube, but I'm more than happy to show you what I got and how I do these. Roll my tire back in. Again, you'll see that lip that I talked about fits right in there, nice and snug. And I'm just going to put these lug nuts on as normal, and these get torqued down toward the specification of 27 foot-pounds. And there you have it. There it is with the full spread of the spacers as well as all the other stuff I've done to it. And here's a few shots of me playing around down in Sand Hollow, down on the Red Rocks. It was super fun. Enjoy these videos, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks. I did want to throw this video, and this is just up above where I live here in Utah. The stability is so much better. Just an inch and a half on each wheel has made a phenomenal difference on the stability and my confidence driving it, especially on more uneven terrain. Not sure what else I want to upgrade next, but we'll see what we want to do next. If you have any suggestions, let me know. Thanks.